Today, we're diving into a really mind-bending chapter from the ancient Diamond Sutra. It's a text that completely challenges how we think about our own minds and even reality itself. So let's get right into it. So, the whole thing starts with this question. It seems pretty simple, doesn't it? Either you can see everything or you can't. But the answer, as we're about to find out, isn't just a yes or no. It actually opens up this whole new way of understanding what it even means to see. To get to the bottom of this, the Buddha explains that an enlightened being doesn't just have one way of seeing things. Nope. They have 5 different eyes, and each one perceives reality on a totally different level. What we're looking at here is basically a ladder of perception. We're going to start with the one we all know, and then, step by step, we'll climb into these other ways of seeing that are all about wisdom and enlightenment. Let's break them down. Okay, first stop is the physical eye. This one is super straightforward. It's the vision you and I are using right this second. It's what sees colors, shapes, the world around us. Our normal biological eyesight. Simple enough. Next, we level up to the divine eye. Now, this is kind of like a superpower. It's the ability to see things that aren't limited by physical stuff. Think of it like seeing through a wall or seeing something happening miles and miles away. It's a perception that goes beyond physics. And here is where things start to get really, really deep. The wisdom eye doesn't just see more things. It sees through them. It sees the fundamental truth of reality that everything is connected, constantly changing, and doesn't have a solid separate self. This interconnected, flowing nature is what's called emptiness in Buddhism. Then you have the Dharma eye. Think of this as the eye of the ultimate teacher. It sees the perfect way to explain the truth to people, understanding exactly what each person needs to hear to help guide them. It's a vision that comes from just immense compassion. And finally, we get to the top, the Buddha eye. This isn't just another eye on the list. This is the grand total. It's all the other eyes working together in perfect harmony. It's a complete, holistic vision of everything, seeing the physical world, its deeper nature, and the path to freedom for everyone, all at the same time. So the really crucial point here is that the Buddha's sight isn't about being a superhero who can just see more stuff. It's that his perception of reality is fundamentally different. He sees both the form of a thing and its ultimate emptiness all at once. Okay, so with that in mind, the sutra then takes us on this wild thought experiment to show us the sheer scale of this enlightened awareness. It starts with something we can kind of wrap our heads around, even though it's huge. Imagine all the tiny grains of sand in the famous Ganges River. Okay, that's a lot, but we can picture it. But wait, it gets crazier. Now, for every single one of those grains of sand, imagine a whole new Ganges River. And each one of those is also filled with countless grains of sand. Yeah, our minds are already starting to bend. And here comes the final leap. Take all the sand from all of those rivers combined, and for each and every grain, imagine a whole world, each one filled with living beings. We're now talking about a number so vast, it's basically infinite. And at the peak of this unimaginable scale, the Buddha makes this astounding claim. He says he knows all the different thoughts popping up in the mind of every single being across all of those infinite worlds. So how? How is that even possible? How could any one consciousness hold an infinite library of information? It seems like it should be impossible, right? Well, the answer the sutra gives is a total game changer. The solution to this incredible puzzle has nothing to do with having a giant cosmic computer for a brain. It's about completely flipping our whole idea of what a mind even is. And here it is, the big reveal. The Buddha explains that he can know all those minds because, when you really look for it, there is no solid mind to find. Not in the past, not right now in the present, and not in the future. Think about it. Try to catch your present thought. The very moment you identify it, poof, it's already in the past. And you can't grab a future thought because it doesn't exist yet. The mind isn't a thing we can hold on to. It's a constant, ungraspable flow. The Buddha knows all minds because he sees this fundamental, empty, flowing reality of consciousness. He's not collecting data. He's seeing the nature of the process itself. There's this amazing Zen story that just nails this point. There was this monk, Master Deshan, and he was a top scholar on the Diamond Sutra. He'd written huge books on it. He thought he knew it inside and out. One day, he's traveling and stops to buy some cakes from an old woman to, refresh his mind. The woman hears he's this big expert, and she just hits him with this devastatingly simple question. And Deshaun, he was totally speechless. He had all the intellectual knowledge, but he hadn't truly realized it. Her question just showed him that all his learning was just concepts in his head. It said that he went and burned all his commentaries after that. Okay, so if our mind isn't a fixed thing, but this ungraspable flow, what does that mean for how we see the world? Well, this leads to our final and maybe most powerful insight. The world we experience is basically just a reflection of our own mind. There's this great old Korean story about King Taejo and a famous monk named Mahak. One day, the king felt like messing with him and said, when I look at you, you look like a pig. The monk didn't even blink. He just smiled and replied, and when I look at you, Your Majesty, you look like a Buddha. The king was totally confused and asked why he'd give him a compliment back. And this is the lesson. The monk explained that what we see in the world is really just a projection of what's in our own heart. A person with the mind of a pig sees pigs everywhere, but a person with the mind of a Buddha sees the Buddha in everyone. And that brings all of this ancient wisdom right back to us, right here, right now. If the world is a mirror of our ever-flowing, unfindable mind, it leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. What kind of world are you projecting? What is your mind seeing today?